Hey guys, Sprite here. Before I start this top, I want to give a shout out to one of my subscribers called Nobody That's Good. He hit me up with a message and said he loves my content but my banner could do with an upgrade, and offered to make me a new one. Seeing as I've been busy trying to get my head around Adobe After Effects, which is a fucking great program by the way for any of you video editors out there. So I said go ahead, and I'm really liking the design he sent me. Thanks a lot man, you have no idea how much time you've saved me from doing that. So with that out of the way, I hope you guys enjoy the top. Number 10, Erased. This anime is a pretty recent release, and ever since its release, it's shot up in popularity in such a short amount of time. Along with the praise, there are many critics saying negative things about this anime. I think the main problem with this anime is that it starts to fall a bit flat around the halfway mark, but what it does so well is keep you in suspense, especially in the first half of the show. I don't think the negatives outweigh the positives because the story is gripping and immersive enough to keep you interested. Something that's definitely worth mentioning is the art style, specifically when the anime decides to show you its beautiful background scenes. It really adds to that extra feeling of immersion. Number 9, Welcome to the N.H.K. Seeing as this is an anime that was released in 2006, you might be putting off this anime straight away, but at least give this anime a few episodes before deciding whether to drop it. The story is a standout feature of this anime. It's pretty slow paced, but I actually like that about the show. That says a lot coming from someone who usually likes faster paced anime. It's very true to life in the way that it handles character interaction, which means you'll probably be relating a lot to this anime and the challenges that life brings you. Some of the parts will have you laughing out loud, and others will definitely give you the feels. Because of the great story, the characters benefit greatly as you start to understand each character, their failures, etc. Please don't miss this one guys. Number 8, Psychopaths. The main selling point of this show is definitely the complex characters. Every character has faults and they become apparent throughout the show, which is why it's so believable in the character department. The art is another standout feature with bold and eye-catching scenes, especially during fight scenes. Everything just has polish, which anyone would expect from a more recent anime, but this anime really hits the nail on the head. Drama is another selling point which will keep you hooked and wanting more throughout the show. You've probably seen or heard of this anime before, but I didn't want to leave it off the list. Number 7, CHÄOS Head. An anime that I will admit has plenty of faults, but I feel like critics give this anime way too much negativity. All of the female casts are very unoriginal and leave a lot to be desired, but they aren't so bad that they're unbearable. It's hard to make an anime with completely original personalities, so it's something that can be excused. I really like the main character and how he dealt with his fears, and this is where the psychological part of this anime shines so well, and why it's in number 7. Although, if you're looking for a really deep thriller that's going to keep you on the edge of your seat, I really wouldn't recommend this one. Number 6, School Life. If I had to judge one anime by its cover, it would probably be this one. This is because the cast of characters give off a sense of cuteness, making this anime seem very comedic and fun, but that's really not the case at all. Some great writing is on display here, with each character's backstory being explained throughout, giving you an insight on why they're in the certain situation that they're in. The only thing I didn't like about this show was that they tried to mix dark themes with really happy and cute ones, and it can get really repetitive and annoying after a while, but that's just me personally. I mean, you might enjoy that sort of stuff. Either way, it's a really weird and different twist on the school genre, so check it out if you want. Number 5, Social Experiments Lane. This anime is old, but that doesn't mean it's not good. I really don't think the art is that much of a deal to you, so this anime is a must-watch in my opinion. The characters have a lot of complexity and depth, which would help explain the way this anime tells its story. Instead of being very blunt and upfront about its narrative, it makes you think a bit more by very small details that are scattered throughout the series. This anime isn't meant to be watched when multitasking, as you'll need to be paying full attention to what's going on. The overall execution of this show is mysterious and ambiguous. If you want an anime with a lot of mystery and depth, this is definitely the anime for you. Number 4, ERGO PROXY. I'll tell you that action is not the selling point of this anime, so don't go into this expecting an action-packed clusterfuck. It's simply a very complex and compelling anime, which means that this anime will be a hit or miss for a lot of people. You'll either love the very confusing dark plot lines, or you'll wonder what even is happening throughout the whole show, and probably drop the anime after a few episodes. With all that said, you can't go wrong with just giving this anime a try, because you never really know how your mind might interpret it. I'd say this is one of the most psychologically involved anime in this list, so I highly recommend it. Number 3, Blast of Tempest. In an anime where there's lots of emotional change, there has to be things that really set the mood and make those emotional moments even more believable. This anime does that very well by utilising classical music pieces in the perfect scenes to set the mood. The story isn't hard to follow, which makes it very accessible, but there's some plot twists along the way, making it slightly more engaging. This anime is often praised for its visuals, and I can see why. The character art is outstanding by really conveying the character's emotion from the eyes, which adds so much more depth. A great little gem. Number 2, Future Diary. Sprite, you've already mentioned Future Diary. Yep, and I'm going to mention it again simply for the fact that I know a lot of people in the comment section will cry about it not being here, even though it's really overused in pretty much every other psychological list or horror list that there is. While it is overused, it certainly is a great anime, a fantastic set of characters that all have unique and unordinary personalities, an awesome thriller with pretty much everything you'd ever want, from killers to the sheer amount of gore. Back to the characters, each character's personality is slowly revealed throughout the anime, making this show a real joy to watch and to keep coming back to. An anime that's very popular, but if for some reason you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend it. And at number 1 we have Higurashi. Higurashi, another anime that I've mentioned before in my other top 10 list, but Higurashi is another anime that's hard to leave out of a psychological list. I will mention that Higurashi is divided into 6 separate arcs, so if you don't like that sort of thing, now you know. An example of this would be that if the main character dies in one arc, he would come back to life in another, with the story being changed around slightly. It manipulates your emotions very well, making you sympathise with each character, but in reality, all is not as it seems. I'm pretty sure everyone and their gran has heard of this anime before, so I'm sorry if you've already seen it. So that's it for this top 10 list, guys. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.